I ask you your name, sir?
Polidori. Polidori. But not yet. First, I want to show you something. I dare say that most of you, when you saw your first Frankenstein film, assumed that it was a totally Hollywood creation. Whereas, in fact, Frankenstein and his creature were invented by an intellectual and somewhat revolutionary young lady, who is better known as the wife of one of the greatest poets in the English language, Percy Bysshe Shelley, than as an authoress in her own right. I brought you here because I want to show you the tomb of Mary Wollstonecraft Shelley. I think you'll enjoy the film much more if you bear in mind that it was a 19-year-old girl of good family who first breathed life into Frankenstein's creature. She will shock you with her horrific fancies.
Go on, touch it. It's warm.
Well, that's hardly surprising. It's been alive for more than a month.
It knows you! Get it off!
I must speak to you alone.
Henry, listen. Look, I can...
Don't leave me alone with it.
There's nothing to be afraid of, Elizabeth.
She will transport you into a world of Regency glamour. To a world of danger and excitement.
An accident? How many?
7. 7 of them there were.
Male or female?
Oh, such fine young lads.
Were the bodies much damaged?
Who knows?
Well, where are they?
But they're using the stables as a temporary morgue.
Those eyes will open. Those limbs will move. That brain will be alive.
Scenes of rare beauty, such as when Prima, the female creature, is brought to life. More menace.
No, never! My experiment, as you call it. I shall regret that for as long as I live.
As a result of last night, sir, 3 people are dead and 10 more seriously injured. We are still searching for the maniac who is responsible.
You think you've got us all in your power. You have incriminated us. But I warn you, Polidori, I no longer care what happens to me. I am going to stop you.
Victor!
This is our chance. It's in there. With him.
What?
No, wait!
More adventure.
Help me! Help me!
Victor! That man is your worst enemy. Leave him to his fate!
We're gonna burn the misshapen creature. Burn, traitor! Burn Henry Cloverell! You want to get rid of him just as much as I do, you hypocrite. Out of here.
Elizabeth and I were deeply in love. We planned to be married shortly. Then one tragic day, we were by a lake with my brother William.
Come on, Victor!
I'm coming, William!
Ah!
He's drowning!
I am the resurrection and the life, saith the Lord. He that believeth in me, though he were dead, yet shall he live. We meet today to commend the soul of young William, brother of Victor Frankenstein. To him and his devoted guardians, the scriptures offer the eternal message. The Lord gave, and the Lord hath taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. In his will is our peace. We will now join together in prayer. Our Father.
Victor!
Death, peace, God's will, and all of us listening with pious faces. Why God's will? Any fool with a sword or gun can give death. Why can't we give life?
But we can. One day, if God blesses us, when we're man and wife...
So can a pair of animals. Life out of life. That's no miracle. Why can't I raise life out of death? Out of my brother's corpse?
That's how Satan tempted our Lord.
If Satan could teach me how to make William alive again, I'd gladly become his pupil.
Oh, forgive me.
Oh, no, please, sir.
You're still hard at it, I see. Elizabeth tells me you want to go back to the hospital and do some more studying.
Have you any objections, sir?
Oh, no, my dear boy, none at all, no. I was just wondering, now that you're a fully fledged doctor, I thought you might like to start a practice. I'd be only too happy to help.
Well, that's very kind of you, sir. But there's something I must try to find out first. I can't even define it exactly.
Well, don't forget there's always help available, should you need it.
Well, don't think I'm ungrateful, sir. You've been better than any genuine father could have been. To both William and me.
That's very kind of you, Victor. Thank you. Good night.
Good night, sir.
Goodbye, Victor. We shall miss you.
Elizabeth, my dearest girl, I know that lately I must have seemed unkind, but it was just because...
There's no need to explain anything. I understand.
I hope you do. Sometimes I don't understand myself. But I love you. Believe that. Always.
I don't mean to be presumptuous, sir, but you look extremely depressed. As a stranger, I have no right to say this to you.
I'm more than depressed, sir. My younger brother William was drowned just recently.
Oh.
He was only 16.
Oh, looks like an accident.
Can you help us?
What happened? His arm was caught in the mill. It happened in a blink of an eyelid.
Well, what do you expect us to do about it, my good man?
We're taking him to the hospital. Come on.
Gently.
Upon my word, sir, you presume upon my good nature. I have an urgent appointment.
This man is in more of a hurry than you are, sir. Besides, the hospital was my destination anyway.
Gently, gently.
Oh, Dr. Frankenstein, it's a pleasure to see your face again. We were told that you were coming back to pursue your studies.
You look blooming as usual, Mrs. McGregor.
Oh, thank you.
Is the surgery occupied?
Oh, yes, the new doctor's in there. Dr. Cavell, yes. He's a strange one.
Easy, lad.
All right?
Just give it.
Right.
This is the place now. You're looking after your head.
God.
Easy. That arm is beautiful.
Well, surely there's no hope of saving it, is there? Or don't you agree?
Oh, certainly I agree. But you were the first to say that. Remember that.
Well, I suppose you want to begin. Can I help? My name's Dr. Frankenstein.
Yeah, I know who you are. I'll take care of his pulse. You give him anything?
Indeed we did, Doctor. I doubt if he knows where he is, much less what he's here for.
Yeah, we'll give him another.
I'm sure it's only wasting good liquor.
You bring me that. I'll be ready to hold him when I tell you.
Yeah. Ready we are, Doctor.
How's his pulse?
Strong enough.
Good. I've heard a lot about you, Frankenstein. The nurses find you entirely charming. Quite the opposite of me, in fact. All right, hold him tight.
Yeah.
I'll match myself for speed against any sawbones in the land. You also have an excellent bedside manner. I'm told. How's our patient?
He'll be all right, I think.
Yeah, within a month he'll be bragging to the girls he lost his arm at Waterloo. Oh, be a good fellow and beg a bed from Mistress McGregor, will you? I'm distinctly unpopular in that neighborhood. He's coming round. You better give him another.
He's got his bed.
Get pressure on there. Keep it on.
How much do we owe you, Doctor?
What's left in the bottle?
Come on.
Tell me, frankly, what did you think when you first saw me just now? Did you not say to yourself, what can he be doing here, hacking the limbs off ploughboys? And did you not think, now there is someone of a different breed?
Why, yes, I thought.
Yes,
maybe...
I thought you did. Perhaps you even thought, now there's someone whose life has some great purpose in it. Why aren't you making your fortune in London? Feeling the pulses of rich old ladies.
I'm not interested in that. I want to learn.
Learn? Here? Oh, the professors here are afraid to venture beyond what their obsolete books have taught them. A new era in science is beginning. There are signposts everywhere, pointing the way, but they daren't go forward. The new science offers power. And power terrifies them.
What kind of power?
Power over death.
Power over death?
Yeah. You won't learn any of that from your esteemed professors. I talk too much. It's seldom I meet a kindred spirit.
I wish you'd go on all night.
Some other time, I feel confoundedly tired. When I work here, they let me sleep upstairs. My right hand pocket. Oh, all right, that's better.
Don't move.
It's my own fault. I keep forgetting. I'm not supposed to exert myself. I'm supposed to take life very easily.
Come, you should lie down.
No. I shall be all right in a moment. Where's my bag? Ah, the secret's out. I've been waiting weeks for a good sturdy limb like that one. And when you agreed to amputate, you gave me a clear conscience. I still have some professional ethics, you see. And no doubt you're wondering what I wanted for, aren't you? Suppose I tell you that I needed to brush up on my anatomy.
I should still be wondering.
Yeah, well, that's your privilege. Good night, Frankenstein.
Aren't you going to stay here tonight?
No, not tonight, not any other night if I can help it. I shall be working elsewhere.
Domine Sancta Pater omnipotens aeterna Deus, qui communicetur Filio Tuo et Spiritus Sancto, unus est Deus, unus est Dominus, non in unius singularitate personae, sed in
Confiteor Deo omnipotenti, Beate Mariae Semper Virgini, Beatum McCallum, Arcangelo.
Where have you been all these weeks? I've looked everywhere for you.
Yes, I knew you would.
I couldn't forget our talk. You were right about the professors. They are afraid. I've been near to desperation sometimes. Then I'd come in here and sit for hours, half wishing I could exchange my knowledge for their faith. Just believe as they do blindly.
Why shouldn't you believe?
That wine can become blood. That bread can become living flesh.
That life can be brought forth from the lifeless. Why not?
You believe that?
Yes, I believe that. Not blindly, though. I believe because I know.
What is it you know?
Why should I tell you? Give me one good reason.
Because you're the signpost. If I go back now, I think I shall go mad. Now, I suppose there is no good reason why you should tell me.
Come with me. This place stood empty for years until I discovered it. It's supposed to be haunted, so it's cheap.
I've never seen anything like that before.
That's hardly surprising, as I invented it.
But how is the power generated?
Watch me. Every instant. Imagine I'm a shopkeeper you suspect of cheating. Now then. This has been specially prepared with chemicals. I'll explain what they are later. Now, is it dead?
Aren't you sure?
Are you sure?
Certain.
It seems that science must always begin by imitating the tricks we play with children. Except this is not a trick. Come on. Well, there's not much one can do with insects, I'm afraid. They'll only live for a couple of hours. If you come with me, I'll show you something really interesting. You recognize it? Look at the flesh. It's as healthy as yours. Touch it. Go on, touch it.
It's warm.
Well, that's hardly surprising. It's been alive for more than a month. It knows you! Get it off! But it has quite a will of its own.
This is a miracle.
That's a first step. You asked me how the power for my batteries was generated. Well, this is merely a toy, of course. Bringing that arm to life is the utmost it could accomplish. Before I go further, I need to finish this. Building all this is quite beyond me now, as I've learned to my cost. I've been struggling with it for years.
I don't understand.
Huh? Oh, you know the story of Prometheus? He brought down fire from the heavens. Well, I brought down power. Power from the sun. It's power from the sun that gives life to the earth, to all of us. Now, using that power, I will create a living, breathing man. No, more than a man. The first of a new race. But I need your help, Victor.
No.
And you're afraid. I was afraid at first. It's the way we've been brought up. We've been brought up to fear. To fear the punishment of the gods. But Prometheus defied them.
And they punished him.
He scorned their punishment. So has every other hero who's stolen secrets from nature to give to mankind. Victor, you and I are almost strangers. But I can read your heart. I know we can work together. As you've seen, I'm subject to these wretched weaknesses. I'm helpless without your strength. All this must be finished quickly. The spring will soon be here, and with it the sunshine. If you refuse me, you will never forgive yourself.
What if I fail you?
Fail? That is a word that I shall teach you to forget. Will you join the Brotherhood of Prometheus? Will you defy the gods?
I defy them.
To make it smoother. Down, down.
What's that you're doing?
I'm creating my own eclipse. Take a look. It's the furnace of life.
All that power.
I can't use too much energy. We'll go blow this whole building apart.
It's terrifying.
Not if you know how to make it obey you.
You know your father and I approve.
He hasn't spoken of it since William died.
Then speak of it yourself. After all, this is no ordinary engagement. He's so much one of the family.
And under such an obligation to you both for his education, how could he dare refuse me?
Elizabeth, please speak to him.
Forgive me, Mama. It would be wrong to speak to him now. Something has come between us, but I have faith that it will pass. Trust me, I shall be bold enough when the time comes.
Thank you, ma'am.
Is Dr. Frankenstein at home?
Yes. He's at home, but...
Then, could I see him, please?
Oh, I'm sorry, dearie, that's forbidden.
Do be so kind as to tell Dr. Frankenstein that Miss Fanshawe desires to speak with him.
Dr. Victor does know you, doesn't he?
I am his fiancée.
Oh! Oh, I beg your pardon, miss, I'm sure. Won't you step inside? I get the doctor.
Yes?
It's a lady. To see Dr. Victor.
Tell her to go to hell.
She says she's his fiancée.
Elizabeth! When did you get here? Is your mother with you? Oh, why didn't you let me know you were coming?
Hello. Oh. I arrived an hour ago. I'm staying in London. Oh, Mama isn't with me. But you need not worry about the proprieties. I brought one of the maids with me. And as for letting you know, if I had, I might have been told I was unwelcome.
Elizabeth, may I present Dr. Henry Clerval. Henry, this is Miss Fanshawe.
I'm afraid I'm interrupting your work.
Of course not. We're delighted to see you. Aren't we, Henry? We've been doing some research here.
What a charming room. Oh, this one is beautiful.
Henry, you're the expert. What's its name?
It's Brassolis astyra. If you will excuse me, Miss Fanshawe, I have some business to attend to.
Oh, you won't stay and have tea with us?
No.
When will you be back?
I don't know.
I'm afraid he doesn't like me.
Oh, Henry, he's a bit of a recluse.
Dearest, you look so pale and tired. Have you been overworking?
Perhaps I have noticed.
At any rate, you were too busy to write me a single letter.
That was thoughtless of me. Oh, Elizabeth, I have been so happy. In the olden days, I was plodding along in the footsteps of others, but now I feel like an explorer.
Well, what exactly are these studies, Victor?
Oh, it's difficult to explain.
Well, can't you at least try? In simple language, of course, suitable to my sex. Or has Dr. Clerval bound you to secrecy with some terrible oath?
Don't! I'm sorry, dearest. The apparatus is very delicate.
Victor, one day your work will be part of my life. I shall share your hopes and your disappointments. You do still want that, don't you?
Oh, you know I do. And it is right that you shall know and approve of what I am doing.
Approve?
Yes. The work, the exploration. It's so novel, so daring.
Many people who cling to the old notions would be shocked.
Well, I refuse to be condemned for narrow-mindedness without even a trial.
Very well. But I shan't try to tell you in words. You shall have a demonstration. You shall see what no scientist in the world has yet seen. In this very room, at 7 o'clock this evening.
Victor? Victor? Are you there?
did it for you, Elizabeth. This is just the beginning.
It's unholy.
I wasn't expecting you.
So I see.
I decided that Elizabeth
You decided! I must speak to you alone.
Henry, listen. Look, I can...
Don't leave me alone with it.
There's nothing to be afraid of, Elizabeth.
You betrayed me for that ignorant, empty-headed girl.
Henry, I am to blame, I know. I shouldn't have startled her like that. But if she has prejudices, it's just the fault of her education. Henry, I know I can trust her. She'll be a comrade to us. She'll inspire us in our work. Henry, come and explain everything to her. You do it so much better than I.
Oh. Appears our comrade has deserted us.
Elizabeth!
Well, at least someone's found a use for Mrs. Blair's Bible.
Wait!
The vengeance of the Almighty.
We must leave this place at once.
Elizabeth.
We'll forget what just happened. We'll never speak of it again.
Dearest, you're still upset. Let's talk this over.
I know when I'm in the presence of evil. Deadly evil.
There is nothing evil about it.
That man will destroy you, Victor. You must choose. I'm waiting for your answer.
Why must I choose?
Oh, I see he has chosen for you.
Elizabeth.
If I were a man, I think I should kill him.
Miss Bradshaw, have you heard the news? Dr. Victor! Dr. Clavell! Are you there? Oh, that's terrible news! All of them struck dead in an instant.
An accident? How many?
7 of them there were.
Male or female?
Oh, such fine young lads. One minute they were singing and laughing at their work, and the next the side of the quarry falls down and they're buried.
Well,
and not one dug up alive.
Were the bodies much damaged?
Who knows?
Well, where are they?
But they're using the stables as a temporary morgue.
Stables.
Oh, it's enough to shake your faith in divine providence.
I'm sorry to hear you doubt the divine providence. We may not understand its workings, but we must have faith. Sometimes its blessings are disguised.
Yes, we must have faith.
Yeah, well, it's between Goddard and Burgess for the legs. Goddard, I think. It's a pity his right arm's smashed.
How about Lewis?
Yeah, well, he's a fine specimen. Lewis for the arms. And the trunk and head. On the whole, I favour Laird. Torso's good. May need rebuilding. They all got knocked about pretty badly.
The face is beautiful.
Yeah. When we finish with him, his own mother won't know him. We shall do wonders with Laird.
Beg pardon, Doctor. I've got the coffins with me, if you're finished.
Yes, well, I'm afraid there's nothing that we can do for them. Poor fellow.
Doctor, I'm Colin Lewis's mother. God bless you. I know that you did all that you could.
I feel like the lowest hypocrite.
Why shouldn't she bless you? We're giving her son the resurrection.
Dr. Clerval.
I thought you were still away on your travels.
Aren't you going to present me to your friend, or should I say, colleague?
Dr. Frankenstein, Dr. Polidori, and now if you would excuse us.
I understand perfectly this terrible disaster. It must be keeping you very busy. Dr. Frankenstein, I'm sure we shall meet again. Henry, I shall continue to watch your career with the keenest interest.
Was Dr. Polidori your teacher?
We were colleagues for a short while. The man's impossible to work with. He's vain, obstinate, half crazy, full of obsolete notions. You know, he once tried to hypnotize me. Didn't work.
Do you think he suspects anything of our plans?
Oh, Polly Dolly. He's no threat to us. Without me, he's as helpless as a baby. You sure I can't help?
I've told you. As your doctor, I forbid it. You're the brains of this partnership.
Yeah, well, we better be quick.
What's the hurry? It's a perfect night for grave robbing.
Don't be so confoundedly cheerful.
You know, I find I enjoy being a criminal.
Why don't you use any of Dr. Polidori's ideas?
He's still living in the Middle Ages. He knows something about preparing the materials. You know, he's afraid of electricity. He hides in the cupboard every time there's a thunderstorm. And he ridicules my idea of taking energy from the sun. No fool. One day, every page of this will be framed in gold. It'll be exhibited in a great temple of science. It'll be the Bible of the New Age. My name will be a household word.
I feel as if we were two generals the night before battle.
Before victory.
You're positive?
Yes. There is the living proof that our process works. Tomorrow morning, that whole body will be as perfect and unblemished as the flesh on that arm.
Those eyes will open. Those limbs will move. That brain will be alive.
Yes, Laird's brain. Brain of an ignorant peasant.
Well, it's a good, healthy organ. Surely it can be educated.
Victor, I'd gladly give a year of my life if I could find a brain worthy of that body.
Well, you certainly won't find one before tomorrow morning. I'll be back then. Try to get some rest.
You too. Your Majesty, Your Royal Highnesses, Your Excellencies, my lords and ladies, my learned colleagues, I have the honor to present to you this unique scientific phenomenon of which I am the sole creator. Here he is standing before you, alive and breathing. I present to you the second Adam. process is reversing itself.
Henry! Henry? My God.
The processes are ready to begin.
Whatever may come of this, forgive me, Henry. No longer will our Adam have the brain of a peasant.
My dearest Elizabeth, today I am beginning a new experiment. It could also be a very dangerous one, for I am entering into the unknown. Should anything unforeseen happen to me, perhaps someone may find this letter and give it to you. Whatever happens, remember I have always loved you.
We've done it, Henry. He's alive. Our perfect man. Our Adam. You are beautiful.
Beautiful.
Now, you must rest.
Rest.
Rest in peace, Henry Clavell, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. For this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality. O death, where is thy sting? O grave, where is thy victory?
My deepest sympathy. At least it hasn't rained. A funeral in the rain is even sadder. I was afraid our beautiful weather wouldn't last. One must always make the most of the sunshine, mustn't one?
A friend of mine arrived unexpectedly. He's a stranger here.
Oh?
It's no use me introducing you. I'm afraid he doesn't speak our language.
Ah, poor lad.
I've asked him to stay with me a little while, if you have no objection.
Oh, any friend of yours, Dr. Victor.
Just until he finds his feet.
His feet? I hope this gentleman feels rested after his journey. It was a terrible long one, I suppose. Our ways must seem very strange to him, I'm sure. And no doubt the climate isn't what he's used to. Well, I hope you'll enjoy your food. I'll be back for the tray.
Watch me. Knife. Fork.
Bravo! Window.
Window.
Bookcase.
Bookcase.
Very good. Bring me 2 books. Bring me a red book. Appears to need much sleep. This is probably due to its condition of childhood. Also seems to have frequent nightmares. The coldness of the flesh is noticeable at all times, the body temperature being about 25 degrees lower than that of a normal human being. His powers of discrimination and reasoning are rapidly developing. Little or no physical change of any kind is to be expected. You startled me. Look, here they are, ready for your debut. Made to your own measurements. Come, look, look. Now you shall be the greatest dandy in town. Victor. Beautiful. Wondering who you are. They think you must be some foreign prince.
Dr. Frankenstein, you do not remember me? I am Françoise Duval, the bereft widow of the late Comte Duval. He was at least 40 years older than I, and he had so much to live for. 30 million francs. Now what would a plain young woman like me do with such vulgar wealth?
I'm sure you'll think of something, Countess.
I was one time at the house of Sir Fanchon lady. This must be your brother. Oh, how he has grown. I did not recognize him.
You are mistaken, madam. This is a friend of mine from a distant country.
Will you not present him to me?
I'm afraid he speaks no English. Beautiful. Only a few words.
That one word alone will get him far. Vous parlez français, monsieur?
He knows no European language.
Parlez français.
Excuse us.
Je suis enchanté.
Je suis enchanté.
But his French is perfect.
Please excuse us.
30 million francs.
What an evening. I must confess, just as we were about to go in, I came near to panic. But I should never have doubted you. You were magnificent. Your French was excellent, and the woman was delighted. When that woman took you for my brother, it was like an omen. William did not die in vain. You shall be his monument. You who know nothing of greed or hatred, you shall teach us how to live. Everywhere you go, you shall bring happiness. Like that divine music.
Figaro.
Yes, like Figaro. Rest. After this evening's success, it seems foolish to delay public announcement. I will show him to all of London as soon as preparations are made. You do enough sleeping for 2 people. Process is reversing itself.
Victor?
But that's amazing. You found your way here. Why have you come? Is something the matter? Let me have a look at you.
And I'll give you a drink of water in a minute. Yes, what is it? I'm very busy. Oh! Oh, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, my dear lady. Could I speak to you in private for a moment?
Well, yes. Please come in. I was just watering my plants.
Of course you were. Madam, Your lodgings have been highly recommended to me. I have a friend who's coming shortly from the continent. He's asked me to secure suitable rooms for him.
Oh, sir, I'm so sorry, but I have only one room to let, and it is presently occupied by a very charming gentleman.
My dear lady, if your tenant is out for the moment, perhaps you can show me the room? My friend isn't coming immediately.
Oh, I'm afraid I couldn't do that, sir. Dr. Frankenstein would be very angry if he ever found out.
I quite understand. Some other time, perhaps. No. Show me Dr. Frankenstein's room.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Hello.
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 The fools. Still playing with electricity. Clerval Neverland.
I water my plants twice each day. The gardener said to do it only once. But my plants are much prettier than his. You see, I talk to my plants, and he doesn't. That's the trouble. That's the trouble. Oh, as I was saying, when I do have a vacancy, I'll be happy to let you know. Oh, I hope you understand why I can't show you the room now.
I understand perfectly. Some other time, perhaps.
Yes, sir. What an elegant gentleman.
3 weeks have passed and I have kept him locked in the bedroom under constant observation. There is continuing enlargement of frontal bone and mandibles, usually occurring while he is asleep and having nightmares. I can no longer hope the process will arrest itself.
Victor. Victor. Victor.
There's no improvement.
I wish you'd let me in there. The bed ready to not to be changed.
I told you, it's infectious.
As if I cared. I've nursed my whole brood through the measles and the chicken pox and the mumps.
I have to remind you, Mrs. Blair, that I am a physician.
Figaro?
No.
Figaro?
No.
No?
Sit down and eat. Sit down, damn you!
Victor. Sit down. Sit down, damn you! Victor? Books? Figaro. Victor! Figaro! Figaro?
Reverend, may I speak with you?
Is your business urgent? It's late.
This concerns a man's life.
Prepare yourself with a small prayer to God.
I am not a believer.
You will find it easier to tell me your problems after a short contemplation.
Figaro?
You don't believe me?
If you believe what you have just told me, then I cannot help you. You should consult a doctor at once.
I am a doctor.
May God forgive you.
Figaro?
No. Mrs. Blair is dead. Here I am, imprisoned with this creature I have made. I see no way out.
are, Toby. You must excuse him. I've never known him to behave like this. I've been trying to teach him that there's no such thing as a stranger. My name's Lacey. You've got an unusual hand, sir. Uncommonly cold. Cold hand, warm heart, eh? Uncommonly powerful, too. The hand of a man who can get what he wants. I pride myself on knowing hands. I can't quite make you out. If you'll permit me... Never mind. I'll respect your privacy. But I'd be grateful for your company. Please go with me. My house is just beyond the trees. Agatha, my granddaughter's at the market. There goes Toby. He thinks it's dinner time. Yes. Oh, please come in. You needn't say a single word if you don't want to. I'll talk enough for two. Beautiful. What? Beautiful. Oh, the flowers, yes. Agatha and I get so much pleasure from them. Please come in. Your clothing's wet. Let me get you something dry.
Bravo! Bravo!
What? Again? You'll be the death of me. The cart. Yes, that's them. I can hear them. Oh, yes. Yes, you wait till you see Agatha. You'll fall in love with her. They all do. Oh, how lovely. There you are.
We sold all our wood, and the vegetables, and the eggs, and we spent all the money.
Tonight, Grandfather, I'm going to cook you the best supper you ever had.
We've a guest inside. Felix, I lent him some of your clothes.
There's no one here, Mr. Lacey.
What? How strange. Just when I thought I was gaining his confidence. Never mind. He'll be back. I invited him to dinner.
Could bind him. No, not with chains. Is that right?
Yes, that's the bit. Please read on.
No man could bind him. No, not with chains. Because that he had often been bound with fetters and chains, and the chains had been plucked asunder by him, and the fetters broken in pieces. Neither could any man tame him. But when he saw Jesus afar off, he ran and worshipped him. Jesus said unto him, Come out of the man, thou unclean spirit. And Jesus asked him, What is thy name? And he answered, saying, My name is Legion, for we are many.
Thank you, Agatha.
Friend? If you're there, come in. Oh, don't be afraid. We won't hurt you. I'm sure he has some great trouble or sickness. Strange. He seems vigorous enough. And yet I sense...
My name is Legion, for we are many.
Toby? Is that you? I'm going to take Felix's dinner. You coming with me? Hey, is that all you've done? You're lazy. Surely Grandfather will hire someone else to do the chores. You're not to touch any of this until you've worked another hour at least.
You come here.
I've no time to waste with you.
You've got time for a kiss.
All right. Have you no shame? Somebody might come by.
Have you no shame? Somebody might come by.
That's enough now. I got work to do. So have you. You good for nothing? Toby? Come on, Toby.
Goodbye, Mr. Lacey. Don't expect us back before sunset.
I hope our friend was listening.
You did tie Toby up, didn't you?
Aye.
You know what sharp ears Grandfather has. I think you're right. Grandfather's friend is in there with him.
When you hear me open the front door, you come in from here.
I always did like playing hide and seek.
Does that please you?
Agatha? Agatha. Beautiful Agatha. Rest.
Victor? Victor isn't here. You've brought a friend with you, I see. Agatha. The whole village has heard about your little escapade. Don't worry. You'll be quite safe here. Chingni Nai Cheng Mauching. I was expecting you to find your way here sooner or later. After all, this is your birthplace, isn't it? I should hate to stay in the silk. Put her down there. I remember the house where I was born, the little window where the sun kept peeping in at morn. Now let's take a look at her. I wasn't going to touch her, precious Agatha. You may have the pleasure of doing that. Come on, let's see the extent of the damage. Come on, I've no use for delicacy, particularly in monsters. Lift it up.
Victor.
You and I have a lot in common, my friend. You need his help, so do I. Nakaita. We shall have to try to persuade him. She's going to rest. To rest in a nice, cool room. Very cool. That's what she likes. You want to rest too. You're tired.
Victor.
Victor wants you to rest. Sit down. Sit down. That's better. Now, I will ask you a question and you will answer me. Who made you? Victor, bravo. It's a wise monster that knows its own father. Not only made you, he made a mess of you. Who are you? Who are you?
My name is Legion, for we are many.
I would guess there are 4 of you at least. Or could there be 5? Does one of you know Polidori?
Polly-dolly? Polly-dolly?
Henry. You know, I hate that silly talk. Say something intelligible.
It's impossible. It can't be. I must find the reason. The process is reversing itself.
What poetic justice. You stole my secrets, and now Frankenstein has stolen your brain. You and your solar energy. You were such a clever fool. Fools are always in a hurry, so they take shortcuts. It was those shocks that made the process reverse itself. I could have told you they would.
For God's sake, help me, Polidori.
I can't help you, Henry. And God certainly won't. Why should he? He didn't make this miserable freak. But you're going to help me. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Now, wake up. You're hungry. You needn't be embarrassed. To them, we all look alike.
Your name, sir?
Polidori.
Excuse me, sir, I don't find it here.
It would be odd if you did.
Get this monstrosity out of here. Victor, this is the day I've dreamed of all my life.
That's very sweet of you, Mother.
I'm so happy for you.
Excuse me. Excuse me, sir. Elizabeth. Darling, isn't it time you started to get ready?
I hope you're not going to turn into a nagging husband. I prefer to think you're impatient to be alone with me.
Why have you come here today? Surely you must realize
that today is your wedding day. That's precisely why I chose it.
Come this way. My answer is no, never! My experiment, as you call it, I shall regret that for as long as I live. I am guilty of that wretched creature's birth and death.
Your only crime, my dear sir, is inexperience. I can show you where you went wrong. Come now. As a man of science, the prospect must tempt you. I can see that it does.
If you are misguided enough to go on with these researches, you must do so alone.
That is out of the question, alas. Oblige me by taking off my gloves. How gentle your hands are. The hands of a born surgeon. I have my battle scars like every old campaigner. You see. I got these long ago, taking stupid risks with an unfamiliar chemical. The other wasn't quite destroyed, even after all these years. I can hardly bring myself to look at it. Cheer up, Frankenstein. I'm not asking for pity. I'm merely demonstrating my need for an associate. May I trouble you once more? When Henry deserted me, I was helpless. I had once been the greatest surgeon alive. Aren't these disguises ridiculous? Why do we take such pains to hide our ugly little secrets? Gently. You're eager to rejoin your charming bride. Naturally. But I fear I must detain you for one more minute. There's someone in my carriage who's impatient to see you. Thank you, my dear colleague. Mask was my servant's idea. An extra precaution. Victor. A touching reunion. Sit down. It was risky bringing him here, especially since the murders. You hadn't heard. I'm not surprised the victims were of no importance, a couple of rustics. Are you sure you won't change your mind about helping me?
Suppose I refuse.
Suppose I tell our friend to get out of the carriage, and then suppose I drive off, leaving you to explain him. Suppose we stop supposing and discuss our plans for the immediate future like sensible people.
I don't understand.
Listen,
This is our wedding night.
I promise I'll only be gone for a little while. You go straight to the cottage. I'll join you there as soon as I can.
Well, where are you going?
I can't explain it to you now. Trust me.
Can't you tell me anything? Is it going to be dangerous?
I can't tell you. Trust me.
I don't understand.
Mrs. Frankenstein, I want you to know how very much I admire your courage and your understanding. The day after you left so very abruptly, I moved in. As a matter of fact, I'd had my eye on this place for some time. Being a confirmed traveler, I've learned to make myself at home wherever I go. Some of these preparations are exceedingly volatile. They must be used within a few hours.
And you got them ready in advance? You were very sure of me, weren't you?
When our friend walked into my little spider's web, I said to myself, I think Frankenstein can be persuaded. But when I read the announcement of your forthcoming marriage, I knew I'd got you. I've decided not to imitate the Almighty. Your Adam is hardly an inspiration, if I may say so. This time, we shall start with Eve. Would you be so kind? The head is his contribution. It has sentimental associations. Too bad there isn't more of her. This was all we could use. But your genius with the scalpel will make it the most beautiful head that England has ever seen. Remove that sheet. Violence may be unavoidable, but clumsiness is inexcusable. I had to send my servants to find the rest of the material. It's not a bad batch, but still it won't be easy. Still, if we should make a mess of her, our friend can have her, if she'll have him. Don't stand mooning there. I hate that silly mask. Get rid of it. It's worse than your ugly face. Agatha. You're a magnificent surgeon, sir. With a scalpel in your hand, you're an entirely different person. Do you realize that? And this morning, you were cutting a wedding cake.
Can we start the process?
Listen to him. After 6 hours of surgery.
I won't rest until this is finished.
Are you so anxious to be off to your bride? You're much more eager to see this young lady when she begins her new life. You have everything? Just a touch. Siente. This will affect the skin and the hair. You'll see the difference. Density?
187.3.
Perfect. Protect your eyes. Self-intent. Now.
Wasn't you?
Agatha! No! Out! Get him out.
Go on. Get out of here.
Well, what do you think of her? Or needn't I ask?
She's an angel.
Angels are as common as sparrows, but this young lady is the first of her species. I think I shall call her Prima.
Prima?
Mrs. Frankenstein will accuse me of delaying you.
Oh, yes, I'd better go.
Won't you say goodbye to Prima? After all, you are, so to speak, her godfather. Nobody could object to your kissing her.
Goodbye, Prima. What are your plans?
Uncertain at present.
Excuse me, milady. The carriage is just coming up the drive, milady.
Goodness, the children. Aren't they very early? No, it's after 5. When I'm with you, Doctor, I always lose track of the time. Elizabeth wrote me that she's expecting.
Oh?
Well, they've been gone 4 months. Oh, my dear children. Welcome home. Elizabeth, how are you feeling?
Never better, Mama.
And you?
Well, thank you.
Victor, I have a surprise for you. Since you've been away, we've become acquainted with the most charming and cultured man, and he's a colleague of yours. Victor, you've grown a beard. You never noticed it. Don't you think it looks well on him, Elizabeth? Dr. Polidori, this is my daughter, Elizabeth.
I'm delighted to make your acquaintance at long last.
Bless my soul, you're here. I've just been showing Miss Prima the garden.
May I present my ward, Prima, Mrs. Frankenstein.
How do you do?
She's been longing to meet you. I've told her to make you her ideal, to copy everything you do.
That's a terrible responsibility. I hope I can live up to it. Oh, my earring. It must have come off in the carriage.
Miss Prima is a very observant young lady.
I needn't introduce you to Dr. Frankenstein. He knows you intimately. Well, he should. I've certainly talked enough about her, haven't I? Although I'm only her guardian, I'm worse than any proud parent.
Mama, how did you meet Dr. Polidori?
Oh, in the usual way. He came to call, explained that he was a friend of Victor's. You know, I had the most dreadful headache that day, and you know, he made it go away. He just said, "You are feeling better." And then he looked at me. Have you noticed his eyes?
I mean, what do you actually know about him?
Well, after all, he is dear Victor's friend. Surely that's enough.
What's enough?
Mama has invited Prima to stay with us.
Well, you see, Dr. Polidori is giving a ball right here for Prima to introduce her to all the elite society.
But why is he leaving her here?
Dr. Polidori is traveling to London for a week of shopping and to issue personal invitations.
It was outrageous of him involving you in this. I mean, the responsibility. Her health is so delicate.
All the more reason for her to be near a doctor. Dr. Polidori has such confidence in you, Victor.
Damn him.
Miss Prima's the only one who laughs at my stories. I've always thought youth and age had a lot in common. By the way, since we're a family now, may I ask, exactly how old are you?
Really, Richard?
Well, Dr. Polidori says I look remarkably old for my age.
Well, if he weren't your guardian, I'd call him an ungallant brute.
If you will excuse me, I'm going to find Elizabeth.
Oh, are you all right, dear?
I feel a little faint.
Maybe you should take her to her room.
I'm terribly sorry.
Let us know if we can be of any help.
Yes, of course. You saw that lady faint at the concert last night. An excellent imitation. Why did you do it? Come in.
How is she?
She's fine, fine.
Isn't she an angel? Why, the poor darling's so cold.
Startled me. May I?
Yes, please do.
love little kitty. His coat is so warm, and if I don't hurt him, he'll do me no harm. Oh, you beautiful cat.
What are you doing?
Just playing a little game.
Constantine? Beautiful. It's my gown for the ball. Yours is ready too. Mamma wants you to come and try it on.
That petticoat is going to be too long for the gown. And where's that little jeweled neckband?
Here, milady.
Thank you. Take that ribbon off first.
Excuse me, miss.
No. Oh, my dear child. How thoughtless I am. It must be something she treasures. Dr. Polidori gave it to her, no doubt. That hemline should be raised in the front, half an inch, perhaps.
Milady's quite right.
I don't care who she is or what she is. Please, let her leave this house.
Elizabeth, listen!
Get her out of this house! Oh.
Polidori! Now, you listen to me, Polidori.
This place has served its purpose. What's the matter, dear colleague? You seem upset.
You think you've got us all in your power. You have incriminated us. But I warn you, Polidori, I no longer care what happens to me. I am going to stop you.
What a ridiculous misunderstanding this is. Why, my dear fellow, after the ball tomorrow, you and your family need never set eyes on me again. Thanks to all of you, Prima is now a respectable member of society, and I shall be taking her to London at once. You don't believe me? Very well. If you demand proof of my good faith, as you call it, only so long as I have him. You've kept your part of the bargain admirably. Now I'm ready to keep mine. Doesn't it look harmless? Chintakan. My dear colleague, you do want to be rid of him, don't you? He'd hardly fit in with your future plans, but he came up. He's been rather temperamental ever since Prima left. Wake up. Yes, Victor's here. So all your troubles are over. Take Victor's arm. Now you're going to take a beauty bath. Prima bathed in one like that. Do you remember how beautiful she was when she came out? One never knows how much he understands. You've neglected his speech and disappointed in you. You're tired. You want to rest. Lie down. There. Your presence creates a conflict. You must tell him.
He wants you to rest.
No. It must be your order.
Rest. Lie down.
Tell him to go into a deep sleep. Tell him not to wake.
You are to go into a deep sleep. You are not to wake.
Bravo. Perfect.
You're sure you won't feel anything?
Perhaps just at the last, an instant of surprise.
Wake up!
We're going to burn the misshapen creature. Burn, traitor! Burn, Henry Cloverell! You want to get rid of him just as much as I do, you hypocrite. Out of here. What a model parent you've been. You loved your creature so long as it was pretty, but when it lost its looks, huh? That was another matter. So much for your dainty conscience. that the past has gone up in flames, let's drink a toast to the future. And what different futures yours and mine. Yet each will have what he desires. Only fools like Henry Clerval want vulgar fame. I shall have the power that works unseen, that moves the world. You alone, Frankenstein. When you read in your newspaper that a monarch has been deposed or that two nations are at war with each other, well, say to yourself, that's the hand of Polidori. That's the man who once called me colleague.
Long live Polidori the Invisible. May his plots thicken.
You look pale, my girl. All's well, I tell you. Our troubles are over. Give me a smile. Give me a smile.
My invitation for tonight never did arrive. It must have been lost by the courier service. I feel so embarrassed. I naturally assumed it was a costume ball. I hope I do not look too out of place. Everyone seems to be staring at me.
You look lovely.
Ah, merci, monsieur. You do not think then that this is a tool for me?
No, not at all. Prima, your master, Polidori the puppet master. Shall I take off your collar and show them all that you're his puppet,
Dr. Frankenstein, you're forgetting yourself.
Excuse me, may I have this dance?
His father's a baronet and the richest man in the neighborhood, but we shall do better in London. I'm hoping for an aging earl. Our dear girl must get married as soon as is decently possible. An unmarried woman has no freedom of action.
How cool your hands are. I love your cool hands.
Once she has entered society with a husband, I shall have to find her the right lover. That will be far harder. She must become the mistress of a member of the ruling caste, a great banker, a cabinet minister, maybe even a royal prince.
And then you'll begin pulling the strings.
Then I shall proceed to make her the most famous woman in Europe, the instrument of my power.
I see you've been taking her to the ballet.
Beautiful, Victor. Beautiful.
As a result of last night, sir, 3 people are dead and 10 more seriously injured. We are still searching for the maniac who is responsible. We've not found him yet. But believe me, wherever he may be hiding, we shall find him.
Dr. Polidori is responsible for the horrors of last night. He and he alone is to blame.
We have Dr. Polidori in custody, ma'am. He behaves like a madman. Keeps ranting on about the girl who was murdered, mumbling something about having created her out of a corpse. He will probably be committed to an institution for the criminally insane.
That man belongs in an institution. Does he not?
Chief Constable, I am responsible for last night, no one else. Dr. Polidori is a pathetic lunatic. As for the creature whom you call a maniac, he cannot be held accountable for his actions. The fault is mine. I brought him to life from pieces of dead bodies.
This is remarkable. First, Dr. Polidori says that he made the murdered girl out of a corpse. And now you, Dr. Frankenstein, are trying to say that you created the maniac out of pieces of dead bodies?
Can I leave now?
Mr. Turner, may I speak to you privately?
Certainly, Mrs. Frankenstein.
My husband is not well. He suffers from delusions. On the very day of our wedding, he had to leave me to consult with his physician. Well, if you do not believe me, my parents will verify it.
You mean he was away from you on your wedding night?
Yes, and for several days beyond. All this nonsense about making human beings from corpses and dead bodies. Surely, a man of your high intelligence must realize that only someone who is deeply disturbed like my poor husband could say such ridiculous things.
But my dear lady, Dr. Polidori is saying practically the same thing as your own husband.
Ah, but Mr. Turner, there is one great difference.
And what is that?
Well, my father found out only this morning, unfortunately too late to help the poor victims of last night, that Dr. Polidori has a criminal record on the continent.
Indeed.
Oh, yes. In fact, my father now knows that Dr. Polidori has served several prison sentences in the past. Once in Spain, once in France, and twice in Germany.
I should like to speak to your father, if you please.
My father has only now gone to sleep. He's been up all night. Surely you don't want to wake him.
Well,
After all, Mr. Turner, I think you should show some consideration for my father. He was responsible for your appointment as chief constable of the county.
Of course, I would not dream of disturbing Lord Fanshawe's rest. Naturally, I believe everything that you have told me, Mrs. Frankenstein. The sooner you and your husband get away from this nightmare, the better for you both. Or, should I say, for all three of you.
Thank you, Mr. Turner. My father will appreciate your help to us.
Goodbye, Mrs. Frankenstein. And good luck to you, too, Dr. Frankenstein. And your charming wife.
Victor. Victor, please. I can't have the baby here after all this. Please pull yourself together. The ship leaves in a few hours.
The ship? What ship?
The ship my father's hired to take us to America. I won't have our baby here.
You were right, Elizabeth. We must start a new life elsewhere. Forget about the past.
It's forgotten. I shall never speak of it again.
I love you very much.
And I love you.
Boys, away!
Good evening, my children.
What are you doing on this ship?
A long sea voyage will do us all good. America. Land of opportunity. You and I have both made mistakes in the past, Victor, but with our creative talent, think of the opportunities we shall have.
It should be in an institution for life.
Mrs. Frankenstein, if you, a mere woman, could make a fool of that chief constable, how much the more easily could a man of my experience and powers of persuasion?
How did you get here? This ship was personally engaged for us by Elizabeth's father.
I told the captain the simple truth that I'm a close friend of the family. I happen to be in a position to know more about our stalwart captain than your father, Mrs. Frankenstein. I know, for example, that he's served several prison sentences, once in Spain, once in France, and twice in Germany. Poor man. I think we can rely on him.
I was right. I knew it.
Right about what?
I had a feeling someone's been following us ever since we left home.
So Polidori's on board. We just have to make the best of it.
How can you be so calm about it?
Well, what do you want me to do about it?
It's the worst thing that could have happened.
Come in.
What do you want?
I have a lot to discuss with Victor. You made it very cozy in here. We shouldn't drink too much of that. Victor, the captain has some superb brandy. I'll get him to send you some down.
Polidori, your presence here disturbs my wife and me. We shall expect to see as little of you as possible during this entire voyage. Now, good night, sir.
I was only going to say that we shouldn't waste too much time in New York. When we arrive, we should proceed directly to Philadelphia, where they've been doing some interesting chemical experimentation, which we might be able to use. Bishop. Bishop. That's checkmate.
Get out, damn you!
Try to get some rest, both of you.
You're drunk, Victor. Perhaps you should go to bed.
I'm not drunk and I don't want to go to bed.
Victor, I know Polidori's presence on this ship has disturbed you, but we mustn't let him come between us.
Can't you stop talking about him?
What are you doing with my key?
Your door was open. I locked it.
That was unnecessary. My few valuables are in the captain's safe.
My husband and I have just had an unpleasant scene. It was because of you.
Your husband has been drinking too much.
Dr. Polidori, when we leave this ship, will we be free of you?
You're very unkind.
Will you make any more claims on us?
How could I make claims on you? I, poor, feeble old man? It's my genius that claims Victor. It claims his mind, it claims his life. Your husband is a totally dedicated man.
He worked for you against his will. He did it only to protect me.
Is that what he tells you? You should have seen the passion in his eyes when my primo was created, and he'd do the same thing again if I said the word. That passion of his is stronger, far stronger, than his love for you.
Only as long as you were here to corrupt him.
I wasn't the first. Have you forgotten Henry Clerval? Mrs. Frankenstein, please open the door. I want to climb under the covers and avoid the storm, which is rapidly becoming worse, and tell my Chinese boy to come down. I shall need him.
Have you nothing else to say to me?
What else could I say? This situation is not nearly so tragic as you make out. Besides, you have no other choice.
Are you sure?
My servant is up on deck. Tell him to hurry. Can you hear me, Mrs. Frankenstein?
Polly Dolly. Polly Dolly.
You decided to join us. You're looking for Victor, no doubt. Victor's your friend. You want to see him. I'll take him. Victor! Victor! Quick!
What was that?
Your creature's in here with me. He's come on board with us.
Huh?
No.
Victor!
This is our chance. It's in there. With him.
What?
No, wait!
Polidori! Polidori!
Open that door as quickly as you can. Someone's locked it from the outside.
Give me the key.
Victor! Get your friend to come up on deck with us. It's too confining in here. You will come up with Victor, won't you? Once we're up on deck, the sailors will help us to subdue him. I'm afraid!
Polidori as well.
Victor, help me!
Victor! That man is your worst enemy. Leave him to his fate.
If we all rush him together, how can he possibly stand up to us? Who'll go in with me? You make me sick. A lot of you.
Of him.
Victor made me.
God has forgiven him for that sin. He has a child now. Our child.
Child?
What have you to do with life, you thing of death?
Do you still assume the authority of the almighty Miss Fanshawe? Poor Brasolis Astera.
Elizabeth?
Elizabeth, where are you? Elizabeth? Elizabeth? Elizabeth?
Oh my God.
satisfied now? Have you punished me enough for giving you life? I've wronged you, I know. I disowned you. I wanted to destroy you. How can I blame you for anything that you've done? Poor creature. You're as weary of life as I am. If only I could rid mankind of us both. I'm a weak human. I can't stay long in this terrible place. But your iron body will keep you alive against your will. You'll be all alone here. That would be too cruel. Forgive me. Please forgive me. Forgive me!
Beautiful.
Victor. Victor. Bravo.